Hey guys, my name's David. This is Fate Unbound, and welcome to my mountaintop campsite, where today I'm going to be tackling two very important projects on my travel trailer behind me. The first, I'm going to walk you guys step by step through how to completely reseal the corners of your RV to absolutely prevent any water intrusion from getting in there and damaging the wood behind it. Water damage to an RV is basically a death sentence. And so, this is my home. I'm a full-time RVer, and my front left off-door side corner molding has completely separated at the bottom and exposed the wood underneath. And so as soon as I saw that, I got everything together to make this video and reseal that. And then once we've finished with that project, I'm going to be replacing the stabilizer jacks on all four corners of my travel trailer as well, because over the years, going down these forest roads and out into the middle of nowhere, into the desert, I've dragged my old stabilizers more times than I can count. They're all bent up. They don't go down very easily at all because, they're pretty mangled and destroyed. And so I got brand new scissor jacks from eTrailer.com. eTrailer has been an incredible resource for me for any replacement parts that I need, any upgrades I want to do to the travel trailer. eTrailer has just about anything you could possibly want for your RV. An amazing resource. And so, I was able to get direct replacements, same rating, same size. However, I can tell just by looking at them and picking them up, they're much beefier, they're slightly heavier, and a lot better built. Especially the screw in the center is much bigger, about twice as big in diameter as my mangled up old ones. And so I'm really excited to get those on because putting those old ones down every time I get to a campsite has been a huge pain. They're like, they're so twisted, they like junk down, and I gotta really crank on them. So that's gonna be really nice too. So to reseal the corners of my camper, I purchased this kit that Dicor sells, and it's all the sealant that you need to do 100 linear feet. And so that's gonna be plenty for me to reseal all four corners of my travel trailer. And what's great about this kit is they include 2 rolls of this seal tape that they have specifically designed exactly for this purpose. Unfortunately, a lot of manufacturers don't use this when they're building the RVs. Keystone didn't use it on my travel trailer. But I'm gonna use it to do the job even better than factory. What's great about this tape is on one side is a very flexible, malleable, but extremely tacky and sticky substance that allows you to mold this tape around uneven surfaces like this corrugated aluminum siding that I have on my travel trailer. And then on the other side is a fleece backed side. And that fleece backing on it is a perfect substance for the cap sealant to adhere to when you are reinstalling the molding over that seal tape. And so, they include 2 rolls of that tape, 50 feet per roll, and then they include 6 tubes of this Dicor cap sealant that, again, is specifically designed for this exact project. Dicor makes incredible products. I have used them on my roof. Dicor lap sealant, self-leveling sealant is amazing. And so, I very much trust Dicor. Video's not sponsored by Dicor. I just really do trust their products. They are excellent. And so, I'll drop a link in the video description below to this kit so you can get it yourself and you don't have to mess around with worrying about what sealants to use. So the first step in this job is to remove the vinyl insert trim. And I'm gonna be reusing mine because I actually just recently replaced it. And so I'm gonna be fairly gentle while pulling this out so that I can reuse it when this project is finished. But if you need to replace yours, then I will go ahead and drop a link in the video description below so that you don't have to search around for this if you've never bought it before, but it is really important to stay up to date on replacing your corner vinyl trim because it protects the hardware under it from the rain, and this stuff likes to crack. So I always have a big roll of this on hand. And then the next step is to remove all of the screws holding this molding on. And then once all the screws are out, we can go ahead and remove our old molding, and just be very careful when taking this off not to bend it. I am reusing mine, and so I'm gonna go very slowly and very methodically. Okay, got the old molding off now, and wow, there's a lot of sealant under there that I'm gonna have to work at getting off. And now that that molding is taken off, we can also see the wood underneath, and we can inspect that for any water damage. Very happy to see that the wood behind my siding still looks to be in really good condition. Next, we need to get all of the old sealant out from the inside of this molding. And I'm just using the plastic scraper that was included in the kit I purchased from Dicor. And again, just be extremely careful while you're doing this, not to bend this corner molding so that it fits right back up against your wall exactly how it came off. And then we need to come over and remove any sealant that is stuck to our siding as well. And then we need to clean off all of the sticky residue from our siding. And for this, I'm just using a rag soaked in isopropyl alcohol. Okay, everything's cleaned off. The molding and my siding I've got all cleaned off of the old sealant. What you're gonna wanna also have handy is a staple gun in case your factory staples are rusted out. Thankfully, mine aren't. They're still in really good condition, so I don't need to pull any of them out and add new staples, but I was ready anyway, just in case. Now it's time to apply the tape, and it's a good idea to place your molding back on so that you can make a mark all the way down your siding to know exactly where the edge is to apply the tape to. Thankfully, though, my corner molding has made a mark along the whole edge, and you can even see a spot where the factory decals end. And so I've already got a line to apply the tape to, so I don't need to do that. Now we can start applying the seal tape to our siding here. You want to press down on it as you're applying it so that it conforms to the surface of your RV. And this is what I really love about this tape. It's flexible, but very tacky, very sticky. It's conforming perfectly to the corrugation of my aluminum siding. And you want to press down nice and firmly as you're putting it on so that it conforms to whatever surface that your RV has. Now that the tape's on and all of our old sealant is cleaned off of the molding, we can then apply a nice thick bead of our cap sealant to both sides of this molding. And it's recommended to run about a 1/2 inch bead on both sides. All right, now we can take this molding with all the sealant on it and put that into place. I used a 1.5 tubes worth of sealant on this. Looks like a lot of sealant, but they give you, 6 tubes. So yeah, that's a 1.5 tubes per corner. I also went back and put some sealant over all of the screw holes also, so that when I run these screws in, it will get all up into the threads too. And as you tighten these screws down, you should see the sealant squeeze out. And then just to pretty the job up, you can go back over the corner with a wet cloth, clean up the globs, kind of push in the extra. All right, we're nearing the end of this project. And I know I said earlier that I'd be reusing my old vinyl trim insert, but I have so much of it. I have 100 feet of it. I just thought that that was silly. You know, doing this whole project, why not at the very end use new vinyl insert trim so that, you know, it's just done right. And if you've never installed this before, it's super easy. You just start one side and then push the other side into the groove and just work your way down. And then here at the end, just cut the end off and replace this end cap. And then the last step for this job is using Dicor self-leveling lap sealant, which is different than the sealant that I use for my corner molding. I'm just going to cover this entire edge of the corner molding just to make sure that no water can get in through this way. And again, I'll go ahead and put a link in the video description below to some tubes of Dicor, this lap sealant, but this self-leveling compound is what you need to use for any type of work that you do on the roof. Okay, that corner is finally done. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, just doing that one corner took a long time. The longest part was by far getting off all of the old sealant. Unfortunately, I bought 70% isopropyl alcohol because that's all they had in the small town pharmacy that I went to. But yeah, definitely get the highest concentration of isopropyl alcohol you can get to make that faster, you know, 90% or higher, I recommend. And another thing, don't do this by yourself. Unfortunately, I have to. There's no one up here with me. But if you can get an extra set of hands, that's gonna help out so much. And on top of everything, just moving the camera all around to get all the different shots made this pretty difficult. But it is nearly done. I'm gonna be honest, the sealant is not the cleanest it could have been. There's kind of sealant just everywhere and it doesn't look very good, but I'm gonna let that cure up. And I've already tested on some spots. The isopropyl alcohol cuts right through it. And so I'll be able to clean up this whole corner and make it look really nice and professional. And then there are also some spots where there are some voids, and that's no problem. You just get back in there with the sealant and fill up those voids as well. I'm gonna do those off camera because I have another project that I wanna get done today, and that's the stabilizer jacks. All right, first thing is to jack this stabilizer back up off the ground. And then I just have to take 2 nuts off and pull just 2 bolts out. And for these new ones, I bought brand new stainless steel hardware so that it would be easier to get on and off if I needed to. Those old rusted bolts were really difficult to take off. And so, yeah, didn't want to encounter that again. So got some stainless hardware from the hardware store. Well, unfortunately, these new scissor jacks from E-Trailer weren't the exact same dimensions as my old ones. You know, I don't blame them. That's just how it is sometimes. And so I really had to persuade this scissor jack in there because the mounting brackets that are welded to the frame of my trailer were just a little tighter in. And so I don't think I'm gonna be able to take these off when I need to the way that I was hoping, because I can't be messing around with it like that while I'm driving down forest roads. That, you know, that was kind of a pain to get in there, but check this out, man. Look how smooth this goes down. Oh, that is so nice. Guys, I haven't had a scissor jack go up and down this easily in it's nearly 8 years now because I bent these up fairly early in my travels, but man, that is so nice. And this new one is so much beefier than the old. And so, yeah, I bet this is gonna do a much better job of stabilizing the trailer. All right, both projects are finished and I'm feeling awesome. That corner is resealed so much better than it was before. You can see the before and after here, how badly it was separated versus how it is nice and watertight right up to the trailer. And the new stabilizer jacks are on, well, the front two are on. I decided to leave the rear two off since I'm leaving this campsite in just a couple days. And so this is one of the campsites where I would always drag my rear stabilizers on. This forest road, it's super uneven and very bumpy. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna leave the rear stabilizers off for now since I'm not able to easily take them on and off like I hoped. And so honestly, what that means is I think I just need to lift my travel trailer up a few inches. I've been wanting to do that, kicking it around for a long time. And I'm almost positive eTrailer has suspension upgrades on their website. And so I'm gonna check that out because yeah, everything else I've gotten from them has worked out great. I love the new stabilizers I've got, and so much nicer. Again, here's the before of cranking down my old bent up stabilizer versus the brand new one. But if you guys enjoyed the video or you found it helpful and you'd like to buy me a beer, you can go through that QR code right there. Also put links in the video description for that. But at the very least, please consider subscribing too. That would really help me out. Also, if you guys enjoy DIY or RV DIY content like this, or my typical videos, which are like a day in the life of, you know, living out in the national forest or out in the deserts during the winter in my travel trailer here with my dog, Sweetie. If that sounds interesting to you too, then this is the channel for you guys. But again, my name's David. This is Sweetie, and this is Fate Unbound. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. We'll say bye. Sweet girl. Say bye. Good girl. All right, you hungry? All right, yeah, it's dinner time, huh?